India played like champions throughout the tournament. One bad day doesn't define a team. I'm so proud of the team and the cricket they have played. Australia weren't nearly as good as India on paper. It's a game you can't always win. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. These are the lines everybody around us is saying, right? We all have said this. I myself have in the past. And while factually there's nothing wrong with this, I really think now it's high time for us to stop saying, because we need to understand that while you can't always win, you can't always lose as well. The Indian team looks like that student who studies very hard throughout the year, who is very intelligent naturally, who does very well all throughout the year in all the unit tests and cycle tests. Come the pre-boards, he tops it. But when the boards arrive, the pressure of the expectations, it all crops into his mind. He starts thinking of what would his mother think, what would his father expect from him, what his tuition teacher told him, what his school teachers told him, what his friends would ask him. And ultimately, he gets pressed down by all of this and isn't able to perform well in that board exam. He ultimately fails the board exam. Now, if this happens once, it's okay, you would give him another chance. But if this happens over and over again for 9 or 10 times, you have to delve deeper, right? This is what's been happening with the Indian side. The Indian team has been the best team by far across formats in the last few years. Since the 2013 Champions Trophy final that the Indian team won, there have been 9 ICC tournaments. Can you believe it? 9 ICC tournaments where India has been able to make it to the semi-finals or the finals. Apart from the 2021 T20 World Cup, where India was eliminated from the group stage itself, every other tournament, India has not only done exceedingly well in the group stage, but also made it to the semis and the finals. Out of these 9 tournaments, India has been able to reach the finals in 5. But India has lost all the 5 finals. India has been able to make it to the semi-finals on 4 occasions and again lost all 4. Therefore, we as fans and cricket lovers need to really discuss this as to what is it that's coming in the way of India and that World Cup trophy. There definitely is some mental aspect to it, and by this I don't mean that they need mental help. Please don't get me wrong. What I mean is that it's some kind of psychological impact that the team has, because of which every time the team reaches the semis or the finals, the outside noise, as they call it, by the fans, by journalists, by analysts and all of us, starts to bother them. The pressure of expectations starts to be felt by them, and that is why when they enter the field, they tend to panic. There's some panic in the dressing room on that big day, to the extent that the team is not able to perform anywhere near its potential. I personally believe that had the Indian team performed even at 75% of their potential in the World Cup final, we would have defeated Australia, because this Australian side on paper, as Mohammad Kaif has pointed out, was nowhere close to the Indian side. But that doesn't really matter. To be very honest, it doesn't matter at all. What matters is who won the trophy, who lifted the trophy. Within a span of 2 years, this Australian side has been able to win a T20 World Cup in the UAE, a World Test Championship very recently. They retained the Ashes as well as won the 50-over World Cup. While on the other hand, an Indian team that was better in T20s in the 2021 World Cup, which was better in Test cricket in the World Test Championship final, and which was better in one-day cricket in this World Cup, could not compete against them when the big day arrived. That is really a big cause of concern for each one of us. We will and we must delve into the reasons for this. The very first reason, in my opinion, is the fact that, and who are we fooling? All the pitches for the World Cup were prepared by the BCCI. It's easy for us to say that ICC prepares the pitches, it's an ICC event. Of course it's an ICC event, but we know who prepared the pitches. It was the BCCI. We knew the schedule beforehand. We knew what kind of pitches were going to be prepared in the big matches, that is against South Africa, against England, against Australia. While on the other hand, we faced Afghanistan on a high-scoring Delhi wicket. We faced Sri Lanka on a good batting wicket at the Wankhede Stadium. We faced Netherlands in Bengaluru at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. And we faced Bangladesh in Pune. All of them being good batting tracks. But on the other hand, we played Australia in Chennai, which is traditionally a dry and slow wicket, where the ball is expected to turn square. We played South Africa at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. We played England again on a dry and slow wicket in Lucknow. What does this show? This shows that somewhere the team management or the BCCI wanted to prepare a pitch that would be difficult for the opposition side, rather than one that would suit our side. While our team is the best in the world, we all can vouch for that. Our team was the best in the world, and when you have the best team in the world, you shouldn't be worrying about what kind of surface you're playing on. Regardless of the surface, you should be able to win wherever you play. And that would have been the case had we not tried to prepare pitches of our choice. The semi-final that we played against New Zealand, it was a good batting wicket. We scored 400 on that. Were they able to chase it? They are a very good batting side, but they weren't able to chase it. Had we prepared that kind of a wicket or any normal batting wicket in the final against Australia, I'm sure we would have won hands down. However, what transpired is that Australia won the toss. They put us, that is India, to bat first. It was a tough pitch to bat. Though Rohit Sharma played a fantastic innings, just the way he's been playing all through the World Cup. I personally felt, and not only in the final, but all through the World Cup, that Rohit Sharma is the kind of batter who induces fear in the opposition sides because he's a marathon innings player, because he's the kind of player who not only scores hundreds but double hundreds, which completely put the opposition out of the game. But what Rohit focused on in this World Cup was to just hit the ball out of the park, which was great. But I always felt that he should play slightly slower than this and try to play a longish innings, because that's when he's at his best. That's when he puts the maximum pressure on the opposition. He can win matches single-handedly. Nevertheless, he continued to play the way he decided to, and even in the finals, after providing a solid start, he got dismissed. Thereafter, Virat played a good knock, in my opinion. A lot of us are criticizing him, saying that it was a slow knock, but I think on that wicket it was a good enough knock, and he would have accelerated had he not gotten out at that crucial moment. When he got out, then KL Rahul played a very slow innings, and he too has been heavily criticized. But in my personal opinion, I think he's a vital cog for the Indian one-day side, and he did not play a selfish inning or a poor innings. I think he played slow since he knew that there's only Ravindra Jadeja and Surya Kumar Yadav to come in to bat. Again, there's been a lot of criticism about the fact that Ravindra Jadeja, who's our number 7 batter, was sent in at number 6, and Surya Kumar Yadav should have been sent. I disagree with that. I think the decision taken by the team was the right decision, because Ravindra Jadeja is the kind of player who can build those partnerships, who can stick around, while Surya Kumar Yadav is the kind of person who would hit the ball here, there, and he's a good finisher. He can hit the ball all around the park. So I think it did make sense, though it didn't pay off. But that brings us to the most important question, which is that the Indian batting lineup always had this Fab 5. Just the way we had the Fab 5 in the bowling. In the batting, it was all great and magical up till KL Rahul. But after that, Surya Kumar Yadav was batting at number 6. And to be very honest, I want to ask each one of you, do you really and truly feel that Surya Kumar Yadav's selection in the World Cup squad is justified just on the basis of the fact that he's the world number 1 T20I batter? He's very good in T20s, but he's never done enough to prove that he's a good one-day batter, in my opinion. I don't think he did enough, and there were other options available, not that there weren't. We had Ishan Kishan, who was terrific in the Asia Cup. I understand that making him bat at number 6 would be too low, but then it would help us. It would give the side another left-handed option. If not Ishan Kishan, there was the option of Sanju Samson, whom we ignored. But if we look at the stats, he's a much better number 6 batter than Surya Kumar Yadav. I do understand that it was an emergency plan because Hardik Pandya got ruled out, and had Hardik Pandya played, we probably, or I'm sure we would have won this World Cup. But if the backup is someone like Surya, who hasn't performed, that is a lack of vision, in my opinion. I think another major factor is that the Australian team took it as just another game of cricket, just the way Ravi Shastri during his coaching tenure tried to always put it for the Indian side, but it wasn't really so, right? Because we as Indians never consider cricket just a game. It's a religion for us. It's a way of life for us. So I understand that it's all the more difficult for the players to look at any game as just another game of cricket. But since it's easier for Australia, it was easy for them to hold their nerves. It was just another match for them, and it was certainly not a life and death situation for them. Therefore, there weren't any moments where they panicked. They were very good on field. They were very good with their bowling plans. While on the other hand, the Indian side again panicked on a big day. The fact that Mohammad Shami was handed the new ball for the first time in the tournament was very shocking to me, because Mohammad Siraj, though he hasn't had the best of World Cups, he's only effective with the new ball. He's not that effective with the old ball. So if we had to get the best out of Mohammad Siraj, we should have handed him the new ball. And Mohammad Shami, on the other hand, had not bowled with the new ball at all in this World Cup, which is why his line and length got disturbed when the ball was moving. And he's been the most effective as a first change bowler and also in his second and third spells. So that is when we panicked. Just like in 2019, when we were playing the semi-final against New Zealand, we were 5 for 3. Who came in at number 5? It was Dinesh Karthik. Yes, the same Dinesh Karthik whom we had groomed to be the finisher for India, to hit those 6s and 4s in the end, to come in at number 6, was sent in at 5 to play the moving ball, the swinging ball. Can you imagine? We played a Vijay Shankar who had just 5 ODI games prior to the World Cup, and then we replaced him with Rishabh Pant, who had looked very promising in the IPL and the domestic circuit, but had little to no experience in the World Cup. Was made to bat at number 4 in a World Cup semi-final. We sent in Hardik Pandya at number 6, who was a big hitter, who was known for his 6s and 4s. And we saved MS Dhoni for number 7, which made no sense because MS Dhoni is that one player who was the most experienced in the side, who was known for his innings building capabilities, who was known for his pressure absorbing capabilities, who was known as Captain Cool, and whose original batting position was that number 5 position. It was taken away from him. He was sent in at number 7, and we know what all happened after that. But it all happened because we panicked on that big day, and similarly we again panicked on this big day. Why I'm saying all this is because this World Cup was ours. Each one of us knows this. This was our World Cup. There was no team better than us. There was no team that deserved it more than us. You can criticize me. You can say I'm anti-Virat, I'm anti-Rohit, I'm anti-India. Please do. That is your right. But as a stakeholder of Indian cricket, it is my right as well to question, to analyze, and to discuss why the team lost, why the same mistakes are repeated over and over again. Why is this mental block always coming our way? I too really wanted Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma to live that World Cup. They are two of the best batters in world cricket and two of the best batters in the history of cricket. Rohit Sharma will now have to end his career whenever he chooses to without being an ODI World Cup winner. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.